Angelina Jolie, career, wealth, and humanitarian mission. Angelina Jolie, more than a star, a voice on the front line. Angelina Jolie has always been more than just an A-list actor. Over the years, she's leveraged her platform, her creative energy, and her influence to bring attention to suffering, conflict, and human rights. Her recent trip to Kherson and Mykolaiv in southern Ukraine, war-torn regions at the front lines of a brutal conflict, makes clear that her commitment to activism remains as strong as ever. From silver screen to social conscience, Angelina Jolie first made waves in Hollywood with powerful roles in films like Girl, Interrupted, for which she won an Oscar, and Gia. Then she reinvented herself further, moving into action films, think Tomb Raider, and deeply personal, socially relevant stories, A Mighty Heart, Changeling. Her work as a filmmaker also reflects her values. Movies such as First They Killed My Father and Unbroken show she's drawn to narratives of survival, resilience, and moral courage. Over decades, she has earned critical and commercial success. But Jolie's legacy isn't built just on box office numbers, it's built on the way she uses her fame to advocate for others, building wealth without turning away from purpose. With a career spanning blockbuster films, directing, and producing, Jolie has amassed significant wealth. Her estimated net worth is around $120 million US, earned through acting, writing, and cinematic projects. But unlike many in Hollywood, she hasn't used her fortune merely for luxury, she channels it into causes she believes in. Jolie has long worked as a humanitarian, most notably in her role as a UNHCR Goodwill Ambassador and later Special Envoy. She's visited refugee camps, conflict zones, and disaster-hit areas around the world. Her activism isn't separate from her career. It's an integrated part of how she lives and how she works. A lifelong commitment to humanitarian action. Long before her recent Ukraine trip, Jolie's humanitarian work was already deeply embedded in her life. She spent years serving with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, helping displaced people, advocating for refugees, and raising awareness of global crises. Beyond her UN role, Jolie has supported women's rights, children's protection, education in conflict zones, and access to healthcare in underprivileged communities. She has received accolades for this work not because she sought fame for it, but because she genuinely believes in doing something concrete, even when it's difficult. Courage under fire. Jolie's visit to Ukraine. In November 2025, Jolie made a bold visit to Kherson and Mykolaiv, two of Ukraine's most dangerous frontline regions. She traveled with the Legacy of War Foundation, meeting medical staff, volunteers, and families living under constant threat. She walked through underground hospitals and schools. Civilian infrastructure moved below ground to protect people from relentless drone attacks. At times, she paused as a drone hovered overhead. The threat of drones was constant, she later shared, describing a low hum that haunts residents day and night. Her message was clear: governments cannot look away. She praised the courage of people who refuse to be forgotten, even as the world's attention moves elsewhere. For Jolie, the visit wasn't just symbolic. She spent real time listening to doctors operating in basements, to parents raising children in bomb shelters, and to volunteers risking their lives to save others. She noted how schools and hospitals had relocated underground to survive. In her view, the world often forgets these frontline communities. She warned of a deeper danger, not just of bombs and drones, but of diplomatic neglect, of conflict fatigue, and political indifference. A message to the world: resilience, dignity, and diplomacy. On her trip, Jolie urged global leaders to remember that civilians are not collateral. They are people with dignity, families, homes, and hope. She compared the experience of Kherson and Mykolaiv to other long-running conflict zones: Sudan, Gaza, the Democratic Republic of Congo, calling for a renewed focus on diplomacy and civilian protection. Her words carried weight. Local officials expressed gratitude, saying that her visit brought them a sense of recognition and solidarity. Controversy and complexity. A risky mission. The trip wasn't without its complications. According to local media, one of Jolie's accompanying drivers, a Ukrainian reservist, was briefly detained by military recruitment officers. The incident drew attention to the tension between her mission and the realities of war. Despite the drama, Jolie carried on. Her focus remained on the people she came to support: the families, the volunteers, the medical workers risking their lives every day. Why Angelina Jolie's voice still matters to the business world. For business leaders, her journey offers a powerful lesson. Influence is more than visibility. True leadership involves using one's platform to elevate others. Jolie doesn't just wander into conflict zones for press coverage. She uses her access to shine a light on human suffering and to push for more protection, more solidarity, and more action. Luxury goods market. In a business landscape increasingly concerned with social impact, her model is compelling. Success isn't just about what you make. It's about what you care about, how you act, and whether you stand with people when it matters most. What was the purpose of her Ukraine visit? To show solidarity with civilians in Kherson and Mykolaiv, and to draw global attention to their strength and suffering under constant attack. Who supported her trip? She traveled with the Legacy of War Foundation, a UK-based NGO working directly with frontline Ukrainian communities. Has she done this before? Yes. Jolie previously visited Western Ukraine, Lviv, in 2022 to support displaced families. What does she want world leaders to do? She's calling for stronger diplomatic commitment and protection for civilians, arguing that war shouldn't erode human dignity.